Join me as I dive deep into the life of Seneca and see if I can uncover what truly makes him a timeless Stoic icon. Seneca is perhaps one of the most fascinating figures in Stoic philosophy, a Roman statesman, philosopher, and dramatist who lived over 2,000 years ago, yet his ideas and writings continue to inspire and influence people to this day. When we think about Stoicism, we often imagine ancient Greeks and Romans walking around in togas, sipping wine, and talking about the meaning of life. But the truth is, Stoicism is just as relevant today as it was back then. In a world that's constantly moving at a breakneck pace, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and lose sight of what truly matters. That's why Seneca's insights are essential. They offer a much-needed perspective on how to live a good life, despite the chaos that surrounds us. We're living in a time where social media dominates our lives, where anxiety and stress are at an all-time high, and where it's easy to get swept up in the noise and drama of it all. But Seneca's teachings remind us that true happiness and fulfillment come from within, from living a life of virtue, self-control, and reason. His writings are like a breath of fresh air, a reminder that there's a different way to live, one that's not driven by external circumstances, but by our own values and principles. In a world where we're constantly being told to buy more, consume more, and achieve more, Seneca's ideas are a refreshing antidote. He reminds us that true freedom and happiness come from living simply, from letting go of our desires and fears, and from focusing on what truly matters. His wisdom is timeless because it speaks to something deep within us, a desire to live a life that's authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. Seneca's major works, such as Letters from a Stoic and On the Shortness of Life, are a treasure trove of insights into the human condition. In these writings, he explores themes like resilience, virtue, and the importance of rational thought. He reminds us that we're all in this together, that we're all struggling with the same desires, fears, and doubts. And he offers us practical advice on how to navigate life's challenges, from dealing with difficult people to coping with our own mortality. One of the most fascinating aspects of Seneca's philosophy is his emphasis on the importance of reason. He believed that our thoughts and emotions are the source of our suffering, and that by cultivating reason and wisdom, we can overcome even the most difficult challenges. This idea is just as relevant today as it was back then, in an age where fake news, social media, and echo chambers can make it difficult to discern what's true and what's not. Seneca's teachings are also deeply personal, reflecting his own struggles and imperfections. He was a complex figure, a wealthy and influential man who was also a philosopher and a dramatist. And yet, despite his successes, he was not immune to the challenges of life. He struggled with anxiety, depression, and illness, and yet he continued to write, to philosophize, and to inspire others. One pivotal moment in Seneca's life that encapsulates his Stoic beliefs is his response to being exiled by the Roman Emperor Claudius. Instead of getting angry or bitter, Seneca saw this as an opportunity to focus on his writing and his philosophy. He retreated to the island of Corsica, where he spent several years in solitude, reflecting on his life and writing some of his most famous works. This moment is a testament to Seneca's courage, resilience, and commitment to his principles. In another letter, Seneca writes about the importance of living in the present moment, of focusing on what we can control, and of letting go of our desires and fears. He reminds us that we're all mortal, that our time on this earth is limited, and that we should make the most of it. This insight is just as relevant today as it was back then, in an age where we're constantly being told to plan for the future, to set goals, and to strive for success. Seneca's teachings also remind us that true wisdom is not just about knowledge, but about character. It's about cultivating virtues like courage, justice, and wisdom, and about living a life that's in alignment with our values and principles. This idea is just as relevant today as it was back then, in an age where we're constantly being told to focus on our strengths, to build our personal brand, and to achieve success. In the end, Seneca's teachings continue to resonate with us because they speak to something deep within us, a desire to live a life that's authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. They remind us that true happiness and fulfillment come from within, and that by living a life of virtue, self-control, and reason, we can overcome even the most difficult challenges. So, what makes Seneca a timeless Stoic icon? It's his wisdom, his courage, and his commitment to his principles. It's the fact that his teachings continue to inspire and influence people to this day, offering us a much-needed perspective on how to live a good life, despite the chaos that surrounds us. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the life and teachings of Seneca. If you have any thoughts on Stoicism or Seneca, leave them in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about Stoic philosophy, be sure to check out another video on the topic.